Hello Pisces, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your December 2022 monthly check-in reading for you. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what's going on for the sign of Pisces? What do we need to know for you? Ooh, it's raining. It's raining really hard outside. Give you one more shuffle. Okay. We have the Tower. Well, something is coming down right here. But here's the thing, towers are for the best. Towers do represent having some sort of enlightenment, some sort of epiphany, okay? If you decided to build that tower up to God when God said don't try to do that, and you did it anyway, and God says no and destroys that tower, I mean, that's on you. However, the tower can also be some sort of divine guidance for you. How do you move forward? You see a tower and you say there's no way to get around this tower, and God strikes it down, destroys the tower, destroys the obstacle, and you see divine intervention play out. And maybe that's what you need right here, Pisces, is that maybe you are someone who is not going to believe until you see something. Maybe you want divine intervention to play out. Maybe you don't really want to build the tower up to God. Maybe you just want to see something and change your viewpoint. And I feel like that's what you're going to be receiving, is something that changes your mind, something that you can actually view. So what's going on with this tower energy for Pisces? What do we need to know? I'm going to be using the Revelations Tarot. This deck does have reversals, so I'm going to be using this to clarify the tower. But destructions, the destruction of the old way of thinking, destructions of ideologies, of what you perceive to be true. So we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Three of Swords. So here's the thing. What you're trying to build right here is the Tower of Babel, all right? You're trying to build this tower up to some sort of divine enlightenment, or you have something within your life, and you really feel like it's going to be your thing. But here's the problem. That's going to be destroyed with the Tower energy. Because you made an impulsive decision to continuously build with the Seven of Pentacles, now it has to come down. And that's the Three of Swords. Is you're not seeing that some sort of situation is not supposed to be there, but you're refusing to believe in that. And so now the universe has to come in and say, all right, well, can't have it anymore. Why? What are you doing right here? What's the big deal with this Seven of Pentacles? Why can you not have this Seven of Pentacles? You have the Hierophant and the Death card, because you're not supposed to have it. But it can also be represented as what you've done in the past as well. Why couldn't you have a situation in your past? And you could be illuminated to why you couldn't have that. Hierophant and the Death card. There is death within the Hierophant. If you were in some sort of organization right here, if you continue to stay and continue to build within something, it would have led you to your death. Because you made an impulsive decision to go into this. So this could be, doing something now versus doing something in the past. So you could be signing a contract right here to get involved with something, right? But if you sign that contract, there are things that you're not seeing. You're not seeing the potential dangers of doing that. You're not seeing yourself being put in, a subservient position. But the Tower will come down to destroy that situation before it actually takes place. Because what you are failing to see is the death within the Hierophant, okay? The Hierophant represents military, the legal system, the police system, the justice system, whatever. Higher knowledge, higher things. If you were to get inside of this thing, if you were to continue to build, it would just end in destruction. And I feel like that's what the Tower is here to warn you about. Is something that you are trying to build, something that you are trying to force, something that maybe you don't have all the facts, but you're very excited to. It's not all it's cracked up to be. What is this Knight of Wands? You have the Daughter of Knives, and you have the Eight of Knives. You need to be chained to a situation, because what I'm saying is that you want to make action, but you don't want to think it through. So you need to sit back and think something through, Because here's the thing, you can get into this mode, Pisces, where you're like, well, it is what it is, I'm just going to do it regardless. But that's a problem right there, because you're not seeing all the dangers behind it. You're not actually thinking about it, all right? That's like someone buying a race car without even knowing the models of race cars or even knowing how to drive, really, and saying, I'm just going to be a professional NASCAR driver. Like, that sounds terrible. And the universe is going to stop you before you go into a situation that's going to be terrible because you're not thinking it through. This is not it is what it is, I'm just going to continue to do it because whatever. It's a, no, there is something very sinister hiding behind this. If you don't know what you're doing, you could get hurt. What's this Three of Swords? The Three of Grails and the Eight of Pentacles. Because you want it, though. Because you spent time with it. You really want this Three of Grails. You really want to work on this situation. You're seeing how, well, other people have it, but I don't have it, and I'm better at this than them. And you know what? That could be the situation as well. Maybe you are looking at other people who have something, and you are better than them at the situation, but here's the problem. They don't have the death card, or maybe they are going to an early death, and you are not. Okay? Have you ever thought about that? Those people who get those situations, you know, you have the devil, yeah, I mean, and the Ace of Pentacles, they're getting what they want from the devil. They are bound to a contract right here. There is that sinister energy behind it, because here's the thing. Let's look at the devil card. I talked about it before. You can get the Ace of Pentacles from the devil. And I'm not saying you can beat the devil at his own game, because you really can't. But what you can do is you can pay off the situation, all right? For example, when you buy a car, I've just talked about this in another reading, and I give it a lot. When you buy a car, you know, you're putting yourself into debt unless you buy it flat out, right? And you have to sign a contract with that company, but you also have to sign a contract with your insurance company. You can get that car that day. You can drive it off the lot. And as long as you continue to make payments on that car and to your insurance company, you can keep that car. And if you pay it all off, congratulations, good for you. But if you don't manage to pay it off, then you get your car repossessed, you get a ding on your credit, and maybe you go into bankruptcy. And then if you get a car repossessed, the chances of you being able to buy a new car ever again are very slim. Like, that's what a lot of people don't see behind the devil right here, or see behind the contracts of the devil, is that you gotta play by the rules until it's paid. Once you own that car, if you decide to scrap it, if you decide to, you know, turn it into a race car, if you decided to paint it pink with, you know, bright shiny bells on it, that's your idea. That's what you can do. That's your car. Same thing with your house. If you want to paint your house completely black and then build another room to it that doesn't make sense, that's your own prerogative. But until that situation plans out, until you've paid it off, there is all that sinister stuff. Once again, it's kind of like, you know, watching drug commercials. Drug commercials are always happy. People are dancing with butterflies, you know, flying in the sky, spinning around in circles in like a park, smiling, and then at the end of the commercial, they list like 50 different side effects. So these people have it because they want to make deals with the devil. But here's the problem, is a lot of people are not going to be able to pay that off, all right? And maybe the universe knows that you can't pay it off or you wouldn't be able to. And it's like, well, it's not even worth it. You have the victory anyway. You have victory with the Chariot. You have the Nine of Cups. And you have the Sun card. You have a victory with the Sun anyway. Alright? So what you need to do is you need to stop worrying about that over there. The sunlight strikes down the tower. That provides you with the illumination. The sunlight is going to give you a victory and a wish. Alright? You will be able to move forward. You will get a wish come true, but it's not going to be with this over here. The tower is here to expose the devil and the Hierophant. All these people who you know to be better than, yes, you very well might be. But what's going to happen when the devil comes a-knocking? Because, you know, you got the Lord of Grails, you got the Three of Skulls, and you got the Eight of Grails. Death is telling you right here, walk away from this situation. Death, because remember, the Lord of Grails rules death, right? is Scorpio energy. So the Death and the Lord of Grails are, I consider the Lord of Grails to be a messenger of the Death. I consider all the kings to be messengers of their major arcana card. For example, the Lord of Scepters or the Lord of Wands, King of Wands, is a messenger from the Sun. The Lord of Grails is a messenger from Death. The King of Swords is a messenger from the stars. The King of Pentacles is a messenger from Gaia or Mother Earth, right? King of Pentacles. So the Lord of Grails is telling you, walk away from this situation and just start doing something for yourself. You will have victory in turning straw into gold. You will have more victory turning straw into gold than you will in this with these people, okay? You have Four of Scepters. Yeah, you're going to have a celebration. You can still celebrate, okay? Just because this doesn't work out for you, just because all of a sudden last minute Tower comes in, Sun destroys it, says no, you want to walk away from it and be sad, but that's not the point. You're wondering why other people can have it because they, you know, they decided to make a deal with it. Talked about this in Cancer's reading. The devil's mark is not 666, okay? I talked about it. I gave a description. The devil's mark is not 666. It says, in those days, those people will have to accept the mark of the beast in their forehead or in their right hand, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right? And he, with the understanding, calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of the man, and that number is 600, 6. The mark is different from the 666, and it's different from the name of the beast, okay? Because all three of those things are separated by ors and commas. So the mark of the beast, or the name of the beast, or the number of the beast, right? So the devil can get people 3 different ways because that's symbolic, because the devil tricked Jesus 3 times, or tried to trick Jesus 3 times. This is to help you move away from a situation that you wouldn't be aware of, okay? Because most people think, oh yeah, well I would never put, 666 on my hand or forehead, like, obviously that's the mark of the beast. No, it's not. That's what people are failing to see. That's how a lot of people are going to get screwed in the end. The Three of Knives with the Queen of Grails and the Prince of Knives. You have the information, okay? The information is that, yeah, you're just heartbroken about the situation. But what you are failing to see is the siren energy behind the mark, okay? The Six of Grails coming out. Yeah, the Six of Grails is a messenger. I consider this card the mark of the beast in a weird way, because that's how the devil comes to you, trying to give you what you want. To the Daughter of Scepters, to these people who are unsuspecting of the situation, because they're like, yeah, well, I'm not going to accept this thing, because obviously I'm too smart for that. Okay. You have the Emperor coming out with the Six of Skulls and the Hermit. The Emperor and the Hermit are going to give you what you want. The Emperor is the CEO, the boss, the ruler, okay? The Hermit is illuminating you the gift from the Emperor. You need to connect yourself to the Emperor situation right here. So it's kind of like, say for example, the Emperor is kind of like the boss of the Hierophant. He rules the company. Instead of you working for the Hierophant itself, just being like a drone, maybe the Emperor will give you a special assignment, special job underneath him, where you're not going to be part of this little community where all these people, have to accept this thing, but the Emperor wants to work directly with you. Maybe that is your lucky day. Maybe that's what you're failing to see, is that someone at the top is like, all right, never mind all of this BS. I just want to talk to you directly. I want to work with you directly. That could be the situation as well. I'm antisocial, like, as fuck. And I've met a lot of people who are, like, the boss of things, who want to talk to me. I've read tarot cards for people who are the boss of things, who wanted to talk to me. The problem with me is that I have problems, socializing. Whatever, right? So, if you are one of those people who doesn't have problems socializing, you might have really good opportunities I've turned down opportunities because I just don't know how to socialize and interact. Whatever. I put on a good mask to go and work, right? But at the end of the day, I ignore my phone, I ignore things, whatever. So that could be the situation right there, is that maybe you have a way to impress someone with the Three of Pentacles, and people want to work directly with you. Maybe you get someone's special number, and they want to pay you for something else. It's completely different from the Hierophant situation, but they're like, no, we want to work with you still, just not in this situation. And that would be best on both sides, because you still get the opportunity to work with the boss and impress the boss, but not have to be bound to the contract itself. That is the best of both worlds. Not being bound to the contract, but still getting the benefits of it, right? The Five of Knives, because you come out on top. That's the thing, is like, you still come out on top. This is like that, I won't call it backstabbing energy, but it's making other people walk away from the situation. You have the truth right here. You're able to wield the sword of truth. You're able to make other people walk away. You're getting something that maybe other people don't think you deserve. You have the Ten of Cups, yeah. Ten of Cups coming out. The Three of Scepters. That's what's being sent to you. Maybe someone wants to work directly with you right here. Someone is sending you that message. Some other people don't think you deserve this. Other people think that you're getting out easy, because it's like, how can you work directly underneath the Emperor, but you don't have to go through all the hardships and struggles that we do? Well, because you're not designed to do that, Pisces. That's the Ace of Swords right there. You're just not meant to do that. You have fertility, and you have spirit guide. Be careful if you don't want to get pregnant right here. You are very abundant, period. Just because something doesn't work out, you're still in an abundant period, all right? Pay attention to what your spirit guides are telling you. Pay attention to what your teachers are telling you. Pay attention to people who are wiser than you in certain things, what they're trying to tell you, okay? There is a spiritual meaning as to why you can't have this. Death. There it is. Skull of Stars. Infinite possibilities. But there's still infinite possibilities. Just because you can't have one thing doesn't mean it can't turn around and be other things as well. It's kind of like, you know, our bodies are made up of proteins, right? And a virus is not something that's alive or dead. It's just proteins that got bound together in a certain way. So there are millions of proteins around us that are not, you know, human beings. There are infinite possibilities of proteins. That's the situation right there. Just because one thing doesn't work out and become life, and it's, you know, terrible, doesn't mean that it can't be, there can't be a human down the line. I know that that's a kind of a weird way to explain it. I hope that kind of like got to you, like maybe you understand it. But magpie, addiction, and goat, potency. Don't accept anything from, you know, friends right here. It could also be something as like people getting addicted to stuff and not even knowing that they're addicted to it. It could also be that maybe you can't go to a party because people are going to try to, you know, take drugs or whatever, and it's laced with fentanyl. Or, you know, I talked about, you know, the Chinese had a problem with the Fireball having antifreeze in it. It was hurting a lot of people. Just because you can't have one thing doesn't mean other things won't open up to you. And the reason you can't have that one thing is because it's toxic as fuck. It's very, very, very toxic. You have reflect on the situation and equanimity, balancing out the situation for you, moving forward in a more balanced, stable, studious manner. Because at the end of the day, as long as you can impress the Emperor, who fucking cares, right? I wasn't trying to brag about, you know, talking about, oh, I've met important people. No, I'm just saying that, you know, even doing something like this, you can meet really important people, all right? My problem, don't be like me. Don't be someone who's antisocial and not try to get ahead in life. Because I'm just like, oh, well, it is what it is, and then I just move on with my life. You have Laga's water, journey across water, intuition, fluidity, creativity, movement, and progress. The spiritual meaning is premonition, unconscious desire, and the unknown. Rado, speed your journey, ease a transition, aid communication, bring good news, and find your spiritual way. So, I feel like this is a fairly good reading for you, Pisces. Don't fret over the situation, just move on. It'll be okay. It'll all make sense soon. It's like skipping the middleman completely. You go and talk directly to the main person. And that's more important. Sometimes you don't need to go through all of these chains right here. Sometimes you would just rather have a direct link to the boss, to you. So anyway, Pisces, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'll talk to you later.